on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Today is a Wine Sips episode, so here are the wines we're going to be discussing today. We have the 2021 Vionta Albarino, the 2021 Martin Codax Albarino, the 2021 Granbazan Etiqueta Ambar Albarino.
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 That too.
It's an Enya.
I'm trying to Americanize it. And
Rias Baixas.
Yeah. Fillet Mignon, yeah. I drink that Rias Baixas with my Fillet Mignon. Mm-hmm. From Accendo...
But you drink it on Ice Lay.
Yes. So from Accendo Cellars, we have the 2021 Accendo Cellars Sauvignon Blanc, the 2019 Accendo Laurea, the 2019 Accendo Cabernet Sauvignon, and the 2020 DAOU Soul of a Lion.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Hey, yes, it's sipping time again. Welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we are the best thing on at 2 a.m.
And 3 a.m. now.
And 3 a.m.?
Yes.
What are we in repeat?
I think what's happening is that Netflix is losing a lot of its good shows.
It's because the Writers Guild, they're on strike.
They had good shows. I stand with the Writers Guild.
We stand with them, but we're not on
They
strike.
pushed Good Times out of our time slots, so we've gone up tremendously.
Well, I stand with the Writers Guild because, one, I'm always for the little guy, and two, they let us in their theater when we were elected to the Taste Awards Hall of Fame in February. So
we have to stand with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like how you worked that in.
But
it was not inelegant at all. It just flowed naturally. You wouldn't need a writer.
Not inelegant. It's a double name. Okay, so
not at all inelegant.
I can't follow that. That's yeah. Now you've confused me. So
not at all inelegant.
Well, this is Made Man Bob, and joining me today, our good old boy Justin.
Good morning, everyone.
And Made Man Maury.
Good morning, Bob. Pleasure to be here in the damp, dank basement with smelly Harmeet.
And good old boy Harmeet.
Whatever. I need a writer. You know what? It's wonderful to be here.
The writers are on strike. You're going to have to make up your own words.
Yeah. Wonderful to be here and smelling the wine with you.
If you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it.
Okay. All right. So our sip segments are all about wine, distilled spirits, tea, coffee, pretty much anything you can drink. And today is a Wine Sips episode. So here are the wines we're going to be discussing today. We have the 2021 Vionta Albarino, the 2021 Martin Codax Albarino, the 2021 Granbazan Etiqueta Ambar Albarino.
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 That too.
It's an Enya.
I'm trying to Americanize it.
Marca.
Yeah, Marca. So and
Rias Baixas.
Yeah. Fillet Mignon, yeah. I drink that Rias Baixas with my Fillet Mignon. Mm-hmm. From Accendo.
But you drink it on Ice Lay.
Yes. So from Accendo Cellars, we have the 2021 Accendo Cellars Sauvignon Blanc, the 2019 Accendo Laurea, the 2019 Accendo Cabernet Sauvignon, and the 2020 DAOU Soul of a Lion. So we're going to tell you all about our sips ratings. We're going to have Justin tell us about that.
Welcome to Wine Island. One sip. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth.
This is already went straight in the toilet.
Granbazan, water. Granbazan, drink water.
2 sips. Nice, but what else do you have?
Hold on.
Well, isn't that nice?
You're getting ahead of me.
3 sips. Interesting. What was this again?
Interesting.
4 sips. Let's keep this secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
Is that supposed to be Mr. Rourke that he's doing?
I really don't know who he's doing.
Yes. Wow. 5 sips.
Con!
There you go.
Oh my, I was unaware anything could be this good.
Con! Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
That was his best role.
At his age, in that outfit, you got to admit, that dude looked amazing.
Yeah.
I miss him. He
Yeah.
was a smooth operator. All right, well, we're going to go on to our first wine region. The first 3 wines we have are from a region in Spain called Rias Baixas. This is a region not a lot of people are familiar with, so we're going to have Harm give you a little bit of education about it. So take it away, Harm.
Thanks, Bob. The winemaking in Rias Baixas dates back thousands of years. The region's first winemakers are believed to have been the Romans, whose occupation of the surrounding Galicia region, or Galicia. Are you supposed to? Is that how you're supposed to say
Galicia.
it?
You got it right. You hit it.
Yeah.
They brought the trade and technology to viticulture there. The more refined winemaking was introduced by the Cistercian monks who arrived from France in the 12th century. Wine production in Galicia and Rias Baixas flourished in the 14th and 15th centuries with the discovery of New World and the establishment of trade routes between Spain, England, and the rest of Europe. The planting and production in Galicia and Rias Baixas continued to expand through the 19th century until the trade wars and export bans led to an overcapacity and vineyard abandonment. Then phylloxera devastated the vineyards throughout Europe. Thanks, America. During the replanting of the
It was our fault, yeah.
It was our fault. We brought phylloxera to them. But during the replanting of the hybrid and of native Spanish varietals in the early 20th century, Albarino began to emerge as the region's star. It's actually known as the Queen of Rias Baixas, showing its potential to produce the high-quality wines at the hands of a new generation of skilled winemakers. The modern winemaking history of Rias Baixas began in 1980, when the official denomination was crafted especially for the Albarino grape variety, the Denominación Específica Albarino. However, when they joined the EU in 1888, they don't allow that a denomination to be for a single grape, so they changed it to a denomination of the origin, DO, for Rias Baixas, and that allows them to have up to 13 grape varieties, or 12 grape varieties now. But Rias Baixas is still
Albarino.
90%. I'm sorry, Albarino is still the queen of Rias Baixas, and it's 90% of the plantings there. Our first wine is from the 2021 Vionta Albarino Rias Baixas. It's 100% Albarino. It's 12.5 ABV.
How's the wine?
The Vionta is located in the island at the mouth of the Ria de Arauza, named the Isla Vionta, or the charm of the Atlantic coast. The vineyard soil is a combination of granite, gravel, sand, and clay. Color of this wine is what you expect from Albarino, is a pale straw. The
Very
nose is tropical, with a hint of mango and banana, but that came out after a long time with air. When I first opened it and poured it, all I got was just green apple, crisp green apple and light banana. But now I'm getting those tropical notes. And on the palate, it's just soft. Beautiful acidity and slight salinity. I'm getting lots of peach and lime peel, and a little bit of like lime juice as well. Like, this is like a peach margarita. I love this. The the finish is short to medium, actually, but with lingering salinity and lime. I really enjoyed this.
The peach and the lime came out way later. I didn't initially appreciate that.
I got the peach and lime right away, but it's even more pronounced now.
That's my point. I didn't appreciate it initially. It was just the big picture, but now they're singing more like soloists.
It's a beautiful duet. That's what this is.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think this is a beautiful wine for the warm weather we're having. It's a poolside wine. It's a daytime wine.
This is
all-day
shrimp on the
sipper.
Barbie wine. I love Rias Baixas wines, especially Albarino, with scallops or shrimp. This is it.
Did you bring any today?
I did not, but we're at Bob's place.
I wish I had some.
Yes.
What else do you think, Maury?
Tinfish. I agree with everything you said, Harm. Much to my chagrin, I have to agree with you today. It's a beautiful wine. It's well made. It's very reasonably priced. It's affordable. It's drinkable. It's an all-day sipper. I thought it was fantastic.
What did you think, Justin?
This wine did something interesting. So initially, when I started enjoying the wine, I would get the acidity on the palate and it was smooth on the nose. Now that it's had time to breathe, I'm getting the acidity on the nose and it's smoother on the palate.
Wow. I'm blown away by that.
It happens. No, I see what he's saying. It's a little bit sharper on the nose right now.
Yeah.
And like those tropical notes I didn't get earlier, they're coming out now. You're getting that malic acid from the apple. Mm-hmm. And I'm like that. It's changing, but it's not. These aren't meant to be like really creamy wines. Usually, these are meant to have that good acidity.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very pleasant.
Yeah. I mean, it's the style, and I think the Albarino grape plays to that style. So you wouldn't want something with an Albarino that's creamy. I think it'd be weird. But I mean, the lime was the first thing that jumped out at me in the nose, and it was not so much like a lime juice as like lime leaves.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
When you smell the tree, not even so much the peel, but the lime leaves, you get that certain greenness with it. The lime is very present for me on the palate. I'm getting huge green apple like Macintosh. I definitely get the huge peach on it, the huge Macintosh. I get that little bit of lime. I get that crisp acidity. Yeah, this with a seafood tower on a hot day out on the dock. Yeah, this is my jam. This I could go with all day long.
Even though I enjoy the flavors now that it's warmed up, I think if we were outside having the seafood, I'd want this served a little bit colder. But
it's 136 outside, so yeah, I think you want anything colder.
How about we just stay in the air conditioning and eat?
Yeah, I mean, good Lord, I'd drink driveway sealer if it's colder. You know, I mean, it's like we're a mile from the sun.
You know, I want to say there are some creamy Albarinos that are out there. There's a couple that are wood aged.
Yes, that is true.
But they're rare.
Yeah.
They're more expensive. It's a different style than your normal Albarino.
And I've had a few of
pretty
them
classic
that were
style.
Yeah, I've had a few of them like what he's talking about that had some good wet aging to them and that are a little more creamy and excellent wines. But for me, this is when I think of Albarino, this is what I think.
Yeah, no, this is beautifully done. This is a great example of what an Albarino should be.
I need to find out who the distributor is. I'm going to start carrying this one. I've never had this one before. Thanks
Well,
for bringing
shame
it to
on
me.
you for not carrying it.
Yeah, I mean, an excellent wine overall, and a good way to start out the day. So we're going to be rating, well, we'll tell you when we come back. Hey, and we're back, and we just finished discussing the 2021 Vionta Albarino from Rias Baixas, and we're going to be rating that one a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
So we're going to go on to our next wine, which is 2021 Martin Codax Albarino, 100% Albarino, 12% ABV. The Bodegas Martin Codax was founded in 1985 and was named after the most known Galician troubadour whose medieval poems, the oldest of Galician Portuguese language with the original music, are preserved. In the poems, the troubadour sings to love and to the sea of our coastline. The winery was founded.
I think it was their coastline, not our coastline.
Yeah, well, their
We're in
coastline.
Florida.
The winery was founded thanks to the idea of a group of wine growers as basically a collective. The winery is made by people for people. 270 members make up the whole cooperative there. And they have over 300 families that supply grapes to them. We would love to discuss this wine, but unfortunately we've opened it and it's, and this happens, it usually doesn't happen with our whiskey shows, but once in a while you get one that is spoiled. And
It's a damaged bottle.
this is a damaged bottle, and it's not fair to rank it based on a damaged bottle. So we're not going to be discussing this one any further. But Harm,
I've
quite
had
a
many
few.
wines from Martin Codax, and they're probably the most familiar grocery store Albarino you're going to find. They're in some fine wine shops as well. They've got a good range. They make multiple Albarinos, and they're well known.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Large
this is just
winery,
unfortunate. We
lots of
can't
people.
review this one today.
And it's happened on wine shows in the past. We've had some. I remember one particular one we had, and it was a wine I was so looking forward to, and we opened it up, and it was just skunk. I was heartbroken.
TCA happens.
It just, what are you going to do? Well, that's where we're going to go with that one. But we're going to move on to our next wine from Rias Baixas, and let's have Maury tell us about that one.
Thank you, Bob. The next wine will be the 2021 Granbazan Etiqueta Ambar Albarino. It is 100% Albarino at 12.5% ABV. The vines that produce the grapes for this expression are over 35 years old, and they were harvested by hand. They're destemmed and cold macerated for 6 to 8 hours. Controlled fermentation is in a stainless steel tank at low temperature between 15 and 17 degrees centigrade. And the rest of the fine lees up to 8 months.
They rest on fire.
They rest on fine leaves. Sorry, thank you. Bodegas Granbazan was founded in 1981 and is located in the Sens Valley in the heart of Rias Baixas. So this wine, again, has a beautiful pale, light straw color. On the nose, classic tropical notes, some ripe apricot, tangerine, and pastry. On the palate, it's juicy, it's light. There's some tasty elegance to it. Again, you get the tropical notes. You get a little bit of tangerine and apricot. The finish is medium and soft. There's definitely a salinity to the finish that kind of carries on for quite some time. I thought this was a very nice wine. Very well done, very well balanced, easy drinker, and I liked it. What'd you think, Justin?
So I enjoyed this wine. On the nose, I got plantains, tangerine, and like a blood fruit.
Pomelo or blood orange?
More blood orange. I'm not familiar with the pomelo, so I'll be honest
Blood
about
fruit just
that.
sounds gross and something, you find on the side of a road.
That's what happens. Well, that's what happens when you have two guys who have fruit stands and they get in an argument. Then you have blood fruit, and then somebody ends up dead.
It was the sequel to Bloodsport that didn't do well, right?
It's not a pleasant thing. There's damaged fruit everywhere. So
Yes. On the palate, I got cream, walnuts, and pears.
Really?
Yep. And the finish was salty but smooth, fairly well balanced wine, and enjoyable. What did you
do not
think?
get the walnuts, but I'll give you the pears, the lime, the salinity. It's all there. But where are you getting the walnut from?
I think that was
Mid-palate.
last week's snack during the movies.
he didn't wash his hands.
He's got some walnuts stuck between his teeth.
Yeah, he didn't wash his hands.
That'll be peanuts, sir.
All right.
And they're all gone now.
No, it's a lovely wine. Again, it's in the classic style of the Albarino.
The acidity is not the same as the first one we had.
No.
This is
softer.
It's a softer style.
This is ripe apricot. I get just a hint of citrus on the tip of the nose. I get a little bit of buttered brioche on the nose as well. Their notes say pastries. To me, it's not pastries. It's more like buttery, drippy, sticky bread. But on the palate,
I would agree with you, Harm. There's much less acidity in this wine than say the first one. Mm-hmm. It's just a little softer all the way around.
I don't get the pastry note that you're talking
Some
about.
sourdough in this.
it's not pastry. It's more like bread for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually go close to what he's saying, more like sourdough,
Yeah.
rather than like the brioche, because the brioche is like, to me, is a warmer nose. This is a little bit.
It's got a tropical fruit juiciness to it. I still get the apricot.
Juicy.
It's got a nice minerality to it, along with a nice salinity to it. You can taste the soil. A lovely wine, really. I mean, this is a new one to me. I haven't had it before, but
I think the time Surly is what gave it that creaminess.
oh, absolutely.
This is because I don't believe the other
If
one.
they hadn't, if it hadn't been Surly, it would probably be more like our first one, I
Yeah.
would think. So, I mean, obviously that's the style they're going for because they did it on purpose. But it's a label I'm not familiar with, but I will tell you that if I see it in a store, I'm definitely going to pick one up because, I mean, it's a lovely wine. Really, really well done.
Do we have a rating?
I'm going to make you wait for it.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. I'm holding my breath.
Okay, I'll give it to you now. So we're going to be rating the 2021 Granbazan Etiqueta Ambar Albarino, a well-deserved 3 sips.
Interesting.
Nice.
And if you see any wines from Rias Baixas, on the shelf, again, it's something that most Americans have never had. Grab a couple, give them a try.
I've been pushing them for years.
It's
People
a
come
whole
back
new wine region that a lot of people are completely unfamiliar with, and they make excellent wines. And in Spain in general, they make fantastic wines in Spain, and they're always
I find that Spain is
underpriced.
the best value for wine.
It
for
has
the last
been
10
for
years.
at least a decade.
Yeah.
At least. So, I mean, you get some really fantastic wines for a really good
I
price.
used to say South American wines, Chile and Argentina, but I think Spain is still killing it right now. You get better
Spain's
wine.
been killing it for a while.
Oh, yeah, at least 10 years, like you said.
Well, if you remember back in the late 80s and early 90s, the Riojas that you could pick up for $15 were just
compare them to $50 French wines.
Yeah, so
That's true.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
all right, so we're going to move on to our next one, and we're going to have Justin tell us about Accendo Cellars.
So Accendo Cellars was founded by Bart and Daphne Araujo. Their journey as Napa Valley vintners began in 1990 when Daphne and Bart became proprietors of the historic Esil Vineyard in Calistoga.
Islay.
But it's not Isla
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Islay.
or Isla. It's Eisle.
and
Islay.
launched Araujo Estate Wines. Relying on their previous business and landscape design experiences, they learned how to grow grapes and farm organically and biodynamically, and went on to produce one of the most celebrated wines from the region. After selling their namesake label to Francois Pinal Artemis Group in 2013, they opened Accendo Cellars in 2013 with their children, Jamie and Greg. The winery is located at Wheel Farms. Originally part of the
Wheeler.
Wheeler Farms.
You should know you were there.
That's true. But I had a little wine.
Yeah, for 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And today as well, you've had a little wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as much as those days.
It's the little one.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Originally,
I'm glad you did it because I didn't want to do it. But it was sitting there.
Somebody had to do it.
Someone had to.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead. Sorry.
originally
It's not
part
you, it's me. No, actually, it's not me. It is you.
originally part of the 2,000-acre Carne Humana Spanish land grant. Wheeler Farms was established in 1871 by Charles H. Wheeler, a founding member of the St. Helena Viticultural Club. In 1894, Charles's son and president of the California Board of Viticulture, J.H. Wheeler, expanded the farm with the purchase of 100 more acres. This purchase included the modern-day Wheeler Farms property, which was planted with grapevines, fruit, nuts, and citrus trees at the time. In 2014, a group of oenophiles led by Bart...
Anophiles.
What is it?
Anophiles.
Anophiles?
Yeah.
Okay. Led by Bart and Daphne Araujo, purchased the property and committed to continuing the Wheeler Farms legacy, reconnecting the property with its agricultural and winemaking roots. Today, Wheeler Farms state-of-the-art winery offers the Wheeler Farms winemaking team, as well as other quality-driven wine brands, the opportunity to produce wine using the most advanced technology available. And we're going to talk about the 2021 Accendo Cellars Sauvignon Blanc. It's 13.9% alcohol by volume. All the grapes were hand harvested in the chilly morning and brought to the winery for whole cluster pressing. The wine was fermented in new and used French oak barrels and concrete eggs, and it's aged surly. On this expression, on the nose, I got lilies, lychee, and white pepper on the nose.
I don't know where the hell you got lychee from, but I'll give you the lilies and white pepper.
And it's a very nice pale yellow color. On the palate, I got pears, white pepper, and lemon, which and it finishes with lemon as well. One thing is, after this has been open a half hour, I got a much stronger fresh bread note than I did in the beginning. That's become more prominent, but it's really pleasant. It just makes me want to eat a lot of bread. What did you think, Bob?
Well, I definitely, on the nose, I get the white flowers. I get the white pepper, and I get just a little bit of white peach. On the palate, I definitely get the white flower notes again. I don't know about the lychee. I do get a little bit of pear. Get a little bit of pear, a little bit of white pepper. It's a lovely wine, but what I will say about it is when we first opened it, the nose was tremendously muted.
Right.
I mean, there was almost no nose to it at all.
Smelling water.
And as we sat here and discussed how the nose was not there over the course of an hour or so, all of a sudden it just bit by bit came up, and it went up to 10.
But I want to interject right here and digress and say that is 100% true. But about a half an hour later, it's gone again. For me, it just disappeared again.
I poured some more fresh. I'm getting the white flowers, a little hint of anise, a little beeswax, and a little hint of lemon. Maybe you said apricot?
White peach.
White peach.
Is what I got.
It's gotten more interesting as it's warmed up. It's a combination of warmth and air, and it's changed a lot. But I agree with you.
The longer it sits, the more the nose comes up.
It was very muted, but for me, the nose came and went.
See, my problem is this whole style of Sauvignon Blanc from California in general. I think they use too much oak. There's no reason to use this much oak. And even though this is a combination of new and used oak and concrete egg, which I love, winemakers experiment with concrete egg. It just does something beautiful to the wines. It's just...
Are you finding this wine over oaked?
It's not over oaked. I just find that it's not overdone, but I think it's killed the acidity to the point that it's become insipid. The wine, I expect a little more acidity from Sauv Blanc. It doesn't have to be New Zealand, acid bomb. It doesn't have to be all tropical fruit or passion fruit or pineapple or whatever, or grapefruit, or it doesn't have to be gooseberry, but it has to have some acid. And the same thing with, like French Sauvignon Blanc, Sancerre, some beautiful minerality, some beam of acid. But I feel like they killed the acid completely here.
Well, they did, but I'm not sure if it's the oak that killed it or not. But I would say that this is not over oak. The concrete eggs definitely, and the used oak definitely have muted the amount of oak they've used. But I agree with you. Something's, for the price point and for the quality of the wine, something's missing.
I love the flavor, but the acidity is missing. The flavors are there, but the acidity is missing. It's just kind of weird for me. And again, the nose went away. What happened?
Right.
I don't know if this could this bottle be damaged. I don't know. Maybe send us another one. Let's check it out again.
My glass still has.
You still taste it?
Yeah, I still have nose in mine. So I don't know. Maybe you guys.
I poured a fresh one. So.
Well, there you go. So it hasn't got any air. Once you put the new stuff in, it needs to sit in the glass for a while. That's what did it. because that was what we had. I mean, for the first 45 minutes we sat here with it, the nose was very, very muted, and then
I'm swirling around. Those notes I mentioned, the beeswax and the little white flower, the pepper, it's all there. The little fennel, but it's just so muted. I expect more. I don't know. Anybody? What do you think about the finish on this thing? Though? I do like the finish.
It's medium. I mean, it's there.
It's got a nice finish.
There's no off flavors at all. It's well made, but I feel like it's missing acidity.
Smooth.
But that's me. I personally am not a huge fan of California Sauv Blanc. I'd rather drink French. I'd rather drink New Zealand. So, but you guys like California Sauv Blanc?
We'll be that way.
Yeah, that's whatever.
I don't know. I liked it.
My nose is in the air.
It was well made, and once it warmed up and sat out and got a good bit of oxygen, that's when the nose came in. The palate was there when we first opened it. It was just the nose wasn't there, but that's come back.
Thought that I would respectfully disagree. For me, the palate when we first poured it was very monotone, one note, just kind of there, nothing special. It really needed to warm up
Could
and
just
get some
be that
air.
you're, not a happy person.
It just needed to warm up and get some air to really evolve and open up, and I think it did so.
Yeah, the palate becomes complex, but it just needs time.
Right. It needed a fair amount of time, which, in fairness, most Sauv Blanc drinkers are pouring it and drinking it within 5 minutes.
Well, most Sauv Blanc drinkers are getting it blistering cold, pouring it, wolfing it down until it makes them.
That's why you have New Zealand Sauv Blanc.
Yeah.
That's correct. This is a
cougar juice.
completely different animal. This is an animal that needs time.
Yeah.
It needs proper temperature control, not freezing cold.
Yeah.
Time in the glass.
This is a thoughtful Sauvignon Blanc as opposed to cougar juice. Yeah.
We call it quaffable wine. This is not something. This is more to contemplate, and it's but just again that California style of me. I'd rather drink the French stuff.
I would argue this is more of a little bit of a geeky wine. It's a high-end American California Sauv Blanc that has some interesting nuances to it, but it's not what you'd expect from a quaffable.
There's other California Sauv Blancs I like better too that are just I think I just don't know. They killed the acidity. I don't know what they did. They killed the acidity. Anyway, let's give it a rating.
We're going to rate the 2021 Accendo Cellars Sauvignon Blanc 3 sips.
Interesting.
And again, a good wine for discussion because, again,
it's not like you're.
It's a well-made wine. It's a very interesting wine. It's just not what you're typically expecting. So that's what makes it kind of fun. When you get something different. So I do enjoy that. But we're going to be moving on to our next wine here in a second. Hey, and we're back, and we were discussing some wines from Accendo Cellars. So we're going to have Maury tell us about our next wine from Accendo.
Why, thank you, Bob. It's a pleasure. The next wine will be the 2019 Accendo Laurea. 91% Cabernet Sauvignon, 9% Cab Franc, and it comes in at 14.8% ABV. It was fermented in stainless steel tanks and aged surely in new and used French oak barrels. Laurea, a Napa Valley red wine, is produced in the style of a Bordeaux blend, made from a strict selection of Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc sourced from some of the same vineyards used in the Accendo Cellars Cabernet Sauvignon, their flagship wine. Carefully chosen lots are blended by our winemaker, Nigel Kinsman, to create a wine of balance, purity, and complexity. This wine has a beautiful, deep, inky, dark color. The nose comes through with cassis and blackberry. The palate, it's bold, it's rich, it's mouth coating, it's juicy. There's some interesting notes on the sort of dark end of the spectrum of ash and tar with fine tannins. It's just a really interesting wine. It finishes long and luscious, beautifully made. I think it's got miles to go. It will age beautifully, but it's really drinking wonderfully now, especially with some air and some time in the glass, letting it come up to room temperature. Really well-made wine. Really no flaws, and you can see the time and the care that they've put into creating just this unbelievable wine. Harm, what do you think?
I think you're pretty spot on. I
Oh my God.
I'm really upset that you did not mention more stuff on the nose, though. Cassis and blackberry is just the beginning, man.
Well, I wanted to get to the palate because the palate's so special. I figured we'd have you with the largest nose in the room to tell us about the nose.
All right, I appreciate that. I'll refrain from making any jokes about other people's noses here. It goes with the blackberry is there, the cassis is there. I get cedar and red pepper and a hint of black olive and a little bit of licorice. It's just like a snappy red fruit going on there. It's so juicy. It's gorgeous. The mouthfeel is creamy. This is where they put the oak to good use, but the wine still has the acidity you expect from this Cabernet. Creamy mouthfeel at the beginning, but then that beam of acid comes in, juicy red fruit, a little hint of tar. The tannins are really fine, not drying. And the finish is medium to medium long, but not a flaw there. It's just, I could just drink this all day. It's approachable. It's every sip is, evolving in the glass. It's not a wine that would like you too sweet, too cloying that you've had one glass you're going to finish. I might finish this bottle by myself. Justin?
So I love this expression. I found the nose was very bright, complex, kind of a high bandwidth nose. I got dark fruits. I even got a subtle note of crystal hot sauce.
Was that red pepper?
And
I'm getting bay leaf now. Anybody get bay leaf?
I did get banana leaf
On the nose, yeah.
and
Just a slight
tobacco
bit.
on the palate. I also got blackberry, the silky tannins that you mentioned. And the finish, when I first started this expression, was tannic, but the tannins really muted over time, and it just became
They're
really
just well
nice.
integrated. They're really integrated.
Yeah, it's like long, well-constructed finish. You could tell you're drinking something special.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, it's a fantastic wine. Again, blackberries, red fruit, cassis.
But I really want to stress you got to be patient with this wine. This is not a pop the cork and chug it down. This is let it open, let it aerate, let it evolve in the glass.
Put it through a Venturi.
Use a Venturi and take your time with it and enjoy it all afternoon.
Like their Sauv Blanc, you don't just pop it and you drink it. You give it time. But this one was fantastic when we opened it, and the longer it set, just the better it got.
This is the great thing about California Reds, which I was poo-pooing the Sauv Blanc earlier from California, but the California Reds, they are so approachable, young, and wines like this that are young, you can approach them young, you can approach this 10, 20 years from now as well, and that's what makes them special. Because like a French wine of this quality, you wouldn't be drinking it now.
No, it would be so closed off that it wouldn't. It'd be horrible. Yeah, but this thing, it's all there. It's all there. And there's such structure and backbone to this wine that you just know, in 5, 7, 10 years, this thing's just going to continue to get better. Yeah, again, black fruits on the palate. I
got red fruits too. Good about a big cherry.
Just a little bit of minerality on it for me. But the tannins are there. They're huge, but they're so well integrated into the wine. They don't overwhelm even now. They're only going to get better with time.
This is the baby.
Yeah,
This is their entry. This is their entry level cab.
Yeah, this is a fantastic Cabernet. So we're going to be rating the 2019 Accendo Laurea a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
So let's move on to our next wine. And we're going to have Harm tell us about this one.
Well, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
The 2019 Accendo.
Do you want to do it in the voice that he was trying to do? It was really bad. Here, hold on.
Okay.
I know my own needs. And what I need from an automobile, I know I get from this new Cordova.
Yeah, I see that. That is con. Okay,
There
not
you
you.
go.
You tried, but you are not con. Okay, moving on from con. If con was here, he would drink this
Fine
wine.
Corinthian leather.
I'm telling you right now.
86% fine Corinthian leather. 86% Cabernet Sauvignon. 8% Cabernet Franc. 6% Petit Verdot. 14.8% ABV.
And I'm sorry, I missed what we're drinking.
We're drinking the 2019 Accendo Cabernet Sauvignon. This is the big boy.
I want to make sure we get that name out there.
I thought we said, I was interrupted by Con, sorry.
Yeah. You were stunned.
I was stunned. Stunned into silence.
Shocking.
Yeah, they were talking about the French style, the Bordeaux style. This is actually more the Bordeaux style. You've got the Cabernet Franc, the Petit Verdot as well.
It was an interesting comment. This has got more of the Bordeaux varietals.
Sourced from 6 different Napa Valley vineyards: Vine Hill Ranch, Sleeping Lady in Rutherford, Ecotone, a former Abreu property, a site on Diamond Mountain, formerly known as Reverie. A blend of the 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon from Accendo's dark cassis-laden effort. Why am I reading their press release? I'll just do my own thing. Yeah. Whatever. So the color is an intense opaque garnet. The nose, that cedar that I was just hinted at, the previous one is more prominent.
Yeah, the cedar's boom right there.
Cedar, dark green herbs, bay leaf,
like a little vegetal
black
note
pepper,
to it.
Blackberries, cassis. I get violets on the nose. It's herbal. There's a hint of like sweet pipe tobacco. This has got more stuffing to it. Let's see the palate. Great grip. This is the tannin that was very refined in the previous one. This has got more of it. This is a hard grip when you get it on your palate. You feel it on your gums and on the back of your teeth. Cassis and graphite and black tea and leather.
But I want to interject and say that the tannins are not offensive.
They're not offensive.
Like the
In
last
fact,
one.
they're delicious.
Very well integrated.
Right.
But this has got
Your
the grip.
implication was that the tannins were a little over the top, and I want to just say that they're well integrated and it's a very balanced wine.
Okay, fine. You said you do you, boy. Let me tell you, this wine, these tannins tell me we are drinking this wine 5 years too early, and this wine has 20 years of life in it, whereas the other one had 10 years.
Oh, this one's got 20 without a doubt.
Okay, but this wine is also ready to drink now. You don't have to wait 20 years.
The fact that it's drinking so well now is stunning.
It's drinking amazingly right now, and I agree with you. It will only improve.
It's going to get better. I feel like we've taken an infant out of the cradle and expected to show us all its potential. But you got to give this one time to go to med school. Give this one time, man. Give this one time. You can't.
This one's already off the charts genius right now. This wine is so beautifully made and so well done.
And the finish is long
yet
and
it's got
lingering,
miles
dark
to go.
chocolate,
Yes.
and tobacco.
Yes, this is one that you don't have to wait 20 years to enjoy. You can enjoy it today, but it will continue to reward you for the next 20 years.
I feel like it's a travesty we opened this too young.
Yeah.
I disagree with it. It's drinking beautifully today.
I'm more than happy to drink it today.
It's beautifully. It's drinking
and I would
beautifully.
happily drink it tomorrow. I would drink it here or there. I would drink it anywhere. I would drink it in a box. I would drink it with a fox. I mean.
Yes, with the fox is the important part.
Yeah, it's
exactly. It's a beautiful wine.
1984, baby.
It's very highly extracted. It's jammy. It's fruity. It's got a lot going on. It's
not over extracted.
Everything.
It's not one of those.
I didn't say over extracted. It's well extracted, but it is the previous wine turned up to 11. It is just amazing.
What I can tell you is, Justin and I were in Napa in January, and we were lucky enough to visit Accendo. A mutual friend was friends with some folks there and hooked us up. And I wasn't familiar with their wines. And we had the Laurea and we had this. And all I remember was sitting there drinking this and my mind just going like, holy cow. This is fantastic.
Remember how I said the previous wine, you could just keep coming back to this? I think I would get this wine because it's so young. I think I couldn't do more than 2 glasses. Give this 10 years. And I could
you drink a quart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This just shows the quality of the wine that they're making there. They really know what they're doing. They're sourcing great grapes. They really know how to handle them. And again, this is what we were drinking there that we were so blown away with. And that's why I, asked them very, very, very sweetly if they would please share some wine with us for the show. So you guys are welcome. So
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
I just wish I had I wish I had a crate of it, but
Well, a crate would be quite expensive. These wines aren't cheap. These are
Nothing good
There's a
in-
reason we love this.
nothing good in life is ever cheap, my friend. So
But these are very well made.
Not even the hooker with a heart of gold.
well, the hooker with the heart of gold is.
Come on.
That's different.
I have to be her knight in shining armor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're gonna, as much as I hate to move on, because I'm gonna go back after the show and finish this, but we're gonna move on to our next wine. So we're going to be rating the 2019 Accendo Cabernet Sauvignon, an extremely well-deserved 5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm giving this one 5 because I can't give it 6. So,
I still think the tannins are huge and we drank it too young.
oh yeah.
And I would like to get another bottle and try it in another 5 or 10 years. Maybe how we get 3 more bottles and try it 5, 10, and 15 years, the same vintage.
Well,
come
I'll
on,
be,
guys, from Accendo.
We're going back in January of 2024, so we'll see if they've got any laying around that maybe we can
pull some for
maybe
future
we
shows.
maybe we can liberate, because I don't know if I can handle it if it got any better. I mean, good lord. So
this is why you buy a case of these. Drink some now, drink some 5 years, drink some 10 years.
Exactly. Well, that's the point. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
So let's go on to our last wine, which is we've done quite a few wines from this producer, which is DAOU. So this is the 2020 DAOU Soul of a Lion, and we've done the last 2 or 3 releases up to this point, I believe. It's 80% Cabernet Sauvignon, 13% Cabernet Franc, 7% Petit Verdot. It's aged for 22 months and 100% new French oak, 15.2% ABV. The Soul of Lion is named for Georges and Daniel DAOU's father, an enduring symbol of strength and courage in their lives. First released in 2010, Soul of a Lion established Paso Robles as a rising star for world-class Cabernet. And I would absolutely say that is 100% true.
Yeah,
I mean,
before the DAOU guys,
Yeah.
the brothers, I thought Paso Robles was for mediocre wine.
yeah,
These guys changed it.
they came in and
They're not the only producer making.
No,
world-class
Austin
wines.
Hope
that's
is
the
out
thing.
there, too.
Once they came in, everyone else there upped their game. And now there's some really exciting wines coming out of Paso. The only bad thing about Paso is
Hard to
that
get to.
It's hard to get to. It's like, unless you fly into San Luis Obispo, you're either going to San Francisco or LA, and it's going to be a 4-hour drive whether you like it or not. So they need
Can
to
you
get
take the train?
they need to get some more routes into San Luis Obispo, because I'm working on trying to figure out a trip for next year, because there's so much exciting stuff going on. I really want to go hit them. But so let's get on to this wine. So the color is dark as Satan's heart. Absolutely beautiful, just almost black garnet color to it.
Send that over, would you?
Hold on, I'm refilling my glass. Don't be a glutton. Here.
On the nose,
That's a
black
Brent
cherries,
pour.
That's a bread pour.
black cherries, blackberry, leather,
Lace.
There's no lace here.
a little bit of cigar box on this. I mean, just so well put together.
He keeps getting better with
Yeah,
with
and on
air.
the palate, it's just, it's luscious. It's mouth coating. It's silky. There's currant and cassis and black raspberry and black cherry in there. It's just, it's. I've never had a Soul of a Lion I didn't like. So, what do you think, Justin?
Super earthy as well.
So this wine, the nose reminds me of like my father's study in the fall. You get cedar, cigar box, black cherry, subtle notes of evergreen bristles on the nose. The palate, it's much simpler than the nose, but very pleasant. And we'll talk more about it after the break.
No more break. The end of the show.
That was the end of the show.
Yeah.
We talked too much.
Yeah, we talked too much. What'd you you guys think?
4 sips.
What? Oh, 5 sips, damn it.
4 sips.
Are you kidding me?
2020 DAOU Soul of a Lion, 5 sips.
Oh my goodness!
Philistines. 5 is the way to go, baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, we ran short on time, but that's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank our co-hosts for joining us. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you so much. This was a great day. In the
Thank you, Maury.
Another great wine day in the basement.
Anything any comment on the Soul of the Lion that you can throw in?
The Soul of the Lion was fantastic. I love it.
And thank you, Harm.
Thank you, Bob, and I mean it this time.
I don't believe you.
No, that was good wine.
I don't believe you. Well, for Sip, Suds, and Smokes, this is Made Man Bob. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Remember, life is too short to drink bad whiskey and
bad wine.
Wine. Yeah,
it's a wine show. We've been drinking good wine.
Yeah. And thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
millions, and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.